Hello, Combat here. Welcome back to another Marvel's Not video. In this video, we're going to get back to the Archetype videos that started a couple of months ago. And I was meant to do a discard one last month, but I just never got around to it. So we're doing it now, and we're going to start doing them every couple of weeks right now. So we'll start with discard because I owed it. In this, we're going to talk about the key cards in discard. We're going to talk about the ways you can play discard. There's currently there's currently like 5 ways you can play discard. We'll get into them, show some gameplay of each of them. Then we'll talk about spotlight catching any cards coming up. So we'll talk about me because it's a new card. Some discard cards coming next month, and according to data mine's not confirmed, right? And then we'll look at how it matches up into our archetypes. So let's get into like key cards, right? So we're going to start with the key card. Is obviously Apocalypse, right? You know him. He's a standard go-to first big card in discard, right? You discard him against 4 power, he buffs up Mobius, buffs up Dracula, stuff like that, right? It's just, that is, like, if you put Apocalypse in a discard deck, you pretty much can't go wrong, right? Unless it's a Hela deck. So we'll look at the cards that can be built around. Black Knight had his own archetype, very good. You discard a card, you play a Black Knight, discard a card, you get an Ebony Blade that can't be destroyed or have its power reduced, right? Really good, because it fits into a lot of decks. You bring it back with Ghost Rider or your Hela stuff, right? Then you get this big Ebony Blade, then you bring back the card that you discarded, you know, you hit an Infinite, and you've got a 20 power, unshadow kingable Ebony Blade, and you bring it back with Ghost Rider, and you still get your Infinite, right? Or your Hela, right? So it's a pretty decent card. Great card to build around. Next up, Gambit. This is more like on the meme side. So this is kind of like a build around card in a deck. This just kind of came because of Meek. We'll get into that later. You know, discard a card and destroy stuff. Then we have Silver Samurai, which is more aimed at the like hand discard. You're aiming to discard your hand and their hand. They can't beat you if they've got no cards, right? Does tie in a little bit with. It can fit. It can fit in most of the decks. It can fit in like Black Knight if you want to. It's not great in there because you're obviously discarding the lowest power, but you can use it after it or before you've played your Black Knight, whatever, right? It fits well into Hela stuff, hand discard, normal discard. It's really flexible, can fit on everything, but its main purpose is like discarding your opponent's hand. And lastly, the card we're quickly looking at is Hela, right? Everyone knows Hela, you discard cards, you bring it back. Got archetypes built around her. If you want to be greedy with discard decks, you fit Hela in. She is a greedier card unless you're aiming to play around her, because it does mean you have to discard your card. And although we have had cards that can target what you discard, it's also, what do you call it? It's also can be a little bit random, right? Like Lady Sif could hit this or another 6. You've got Blade and Silver Samurai that can target cards. So those are the kind of 5 cards that we're going to be building decks around. I want to look at like the best discard card. So these are like the best cards for discarding. You know, Blade, incredible for discarding stuff. Hits the rightmost card in your hand, great. Lets you target what you want to discard. Next up, Colleen, discards the lowest cost card in your hand, right? So again, these are all kind of targeted. You have a good idea what you're going to hit most of the time, unless you've got 2 powers and or 2 6s when we get there. Lady Sif, obviously great for hitting a big 6 power card, right? Great for the Black Knight, so you just hit an Apocalypse in a normal discard. You know, great. And if you ever just want to throw away your whole hand, you've got Mordor. Those are like the best discard cards around. So these decks are kind of going to be in order of strength, I feel like they're in right now. So quickly, first deck is going to be Hela. We'll talk more about that in a second when I show you the gameplay. I just want to quickly flick over the 5 decks so you know what's coming up. Next up, we have Black Knight. I feel like this is just behind the Hela list. Ebony Blade's kind of ridiculous. Kyra protects it. You got a lot of 6 drops, right? Just kind of quickly flick through these. Next up, kind of standard discard right now. You've got Meek in there, the new card. Dakin and stuff like that. It's kind of more like standard, basic, simple discard. Then we have the hand one, where we're looking to discard our hand and their hand. Got Morph in here, which is probably might come out now that Thanos might fall off a little bit, but we'll see. Lastly, there's more of a fun meme type stuff where it's just like Gambit machine gun. We're looking to discard a load of stuff and destroy their board. Okay, so let's talk about the tribunal list. So you get the idea. The basic idea is you got Invisible Woman, Modok, Hela, right? That's kind of like your big win type condition, right? To help you get there, you got Magic to add an extra turn, Crystal, draw some cards. You've got Jubilee and Ironland that could help you pull a card out of your deck or turn into a card in Ironland's favor. And then you've got the where a lot of your power comes from. You got your Iron Man, your Onslaught, your Living Tribunal, right? You hopefully get an Iron Man and Onslaught in the same lane if you're lucky. If not, it's fine. As long as you get like Iron Man down, you're normally pretty good anyways. Onslaught's just this extra power, lets you go from 30, 40 to a lane to 50, 60, something like that instead. Tribunal is what actually, a lot of the time, probably wins you the game. Like, but you don't need it, unless it's like a big meta. Like the Thanos meta, you did need Tribunal, because there's a lot of power, and you could get unlucky with your Hela. But Tribunal helps you spread the power, helps you fight for all three lanes, right? And then obviously you've got the big cards and Giganto and Infinite. Pretty straightforward, pretty fun deck. Pretty strong right now. I'd probably put it at like top of tier 2. Okay. Not exactly terrifying behavior. Jubilee or Onslaught would be nice. Onslaught would be perfect. Onslaught would be perfect. He does. Oh god. He does have 7 energy right now, though. Oh crap. I'm gonna struggle to beat that power. Not gonna lie. That doesn't help me at all. By the way. The good thing is I am guaranteed Onslaught if he doesn't change Limbo. Which he hasn't done. Okay, that guarantees me Onslaught. That's fine. And we put all the big stuff made. Yeah, why not? Definitely don't think we get it, yeah.
Behold my mighty hand.
Minions to me.
No, we do. Jeez. Okay. I underestimated the power. Okay, onto the Black Knight deck. This is, I'd probably put this just a little bit below the Hela deck, probably like middle of tier 2. Because it does have quite a lot of stuff, and it is quite strong. And it's a little bit more consistent than the Hela. It just, Hela stuff can just win you more games. So, in here we've got Black Knight, right? And then we've got Blade and Lady Sif to discard cards. And we're looking to hit like Magneto, Infinite. We've got Scar in here. You could hit him as well. Ideally, you would prefer to hit the other two, because then you could Ebony Blade, Ghost Rider, and then you can have Scar come down for cheaper, right? Which could be nice. You got Zabu, because you've got 3 4s in here. The Ghost Rider, Shang-Chi, and Miss Marvel. You know, Ghost Rider brings out what you discard. Shang-Chi to punch something in the face. Miss Marvel for some extra power. Kyera to protect your 6s when you bring them back. Protect your 1s if you want to, but that's not really that important, but protecting your 6s can be, right? You could Kyra on 3 and Ghost Rider on 4 if you bladed on something, right? You know, or you could just get Kyra down early to protect yourself on the last turn. We already talked about Lady Sif and blah, blah. Sarah helps you reduce stuff, right? If you got Zabu and Sarah down, your Ghost Rider's costing 2, which is fantastic. Like, you could Ghost Rider Lady Sif, or Lady Sif Ghost Rider on the last turn, right? Which could be nice. Scar, because you bit of power. He's a little greedier in this list, but like the idea is if you got Zabu now, so you got Black Knight, Zabu, Kyra, you could Blade, Ghost Rider, right, and stuff like that. Bring that back, then you got your Ebony Blade and stuff like that, and you protect. Pretty good. Magneto's just probably one of the best 6 drops, right? Because a lot of 4s helps you like cause havoc, and then Infinite's just pure stats.
Victory.
Next up, we have just a standard discard list. You know, the idea here is you're going to build up a Mobius and a Apocalypse for Dracula, right? There is a couple of iffy cards in here, like Meek is a new card. I don't know if it ever fully finds its spot in here. It could be like one of the, like, could be Wolverine or something like that, right? Blade, obviously, great card. Mobius, Swarm, Colleen, those are just standard cards. Very good. Gambit could be another discard. You could go like Swordmaster if you wanted to, or like Silver Samurai, Moon Knight. But Gambit, I feel like Gambit has just more benefit for its downside because you could destroy a key card, right? Daken, great. It's another card for you to discard, a little bit more power, right? In a discard deck, he is pretty much a free 8, unless you played him on the last turn, right? Lady Sif, fantastic for Apocalypse. Dracula, obviously, big card. Hellcow, this is a iffy one. Like, probably, I put Hellcow in here because a lot more people have it. I'd probably myself run Silver Samurai over it, but Hellcow does the thing. I'd probably put a Silver Samurai if I wanted an extra discard myself. Helps it targets their hand, and you know what you're hitting in your hand. Obviously, like, Hellcow's better for hitting Apocalypse and like swarms and stuff like that. That you depending on your hand, right? Hellcow can be better than Gambit, better than Silver Samurai. But Silver Samurai is, you know what you're hitting, and then MODOK, just throw away your whole hand, and I've got Apocalypse. I would put this. I'd put this discard at like bottom of tier 2, top of tier 3 right now. Just in this meta, I do feel like this card's in a good spot, but just the meta isn't there for it, right? You can still add a lot of power. You can easily, with this deck, get to 20 in 2 different lanes. But right now, that's not enough, right? So it puts you down in the meta. Come on, snipe that Drac right in his face. Hey, we got the extra power in the mid as well. It was nice. I would put, next up we got the hand. I'd put this around the same spot as normal discard, because again, you can get a lot of power out. You can consistently get decent power out. I can say you can, with most of these decks here, you can easily get to 15, 20 in 2 lanes, but that's if they don't interrupt you and stop you like that. And this deck's a little bit more worried about your draw, and it's kind of just not enough most of the time, right? The problem. So let's look at that. So we're looking at discarding their hand. So we've got Moon Knight, Silver Samurai, and Black Bolt, which discards cards from their hand. Moon Knight and Silver Samurai obviously hit your hand as well, but it's okay because you got Hell to bring stuff back. Blade can target whatever you want to discard. Probably looking at Maximus, Swarm, Morph, or Helicarrier. Ideally, that's probably what you want in a hit. And then obviously you can bring stuff back with Hela, right? Swarm, Colleen, you know, standard. Maximus is in here for stats, but you don't really want to play him on 2, but you'd love to discard him. It's a card that you'd love to discard so that you can bring him back with Hela. And it's just stats that they don't really benefit from the draw. Morph was in here because of the big meta, right? All this Thanos stuff. Pretty much always hitting good cards. Moon Knight just discards a card randomly from each hand. Silver Samurai, you can target what you want to hit, right? And then you discard a random one. Black Cat just throws herself away, which is nice. Comes back with Hela. Just pretty much makes Hela a 6/15. Anyways. Stature, just great because you've got 3 cards to discard. So from there, so she becomes the 1. Black Bolt we already talked about. Hela obviously brings stuff back. And Hela Carrier is a 6/10. You get rid of that, right? You could easily just go Blade into Hela Carrier, discard Hellcat and one of your sword, and then Hela is, what, a 25, which is fantastic. Anyways, you don't need to worry about the other cards. I don't really want to play mid. I might just keep that there, yeah. Just seem the smart play, right? Wait, this is 10 power as well, right? It's 10 power. This is more power. Just spread the wealth a little bit, that's all. Okay. Hercules. Okay. Ooh, Iron Fist. You didn't go for any bounce stuff. Okay.
Victory.
The last time, this is more memey. This is down in like tier 3 zone. Like, it's just combo decks just don't have a place right now, unfortunately. It's just they're too hard to get going because you need core pieces. But when it works, right? You get a little machine gun down and you pop everything, and then Meek flying around. The idea here is you got a Wong. Ideally, you'd want a Wong Mystique into like Gambit stuff, and then you'd zap everything, and you'd already have Meek down and Mobius down, and you'd have Swarm or Apocalypse in hand, so you Gambit can keep going. But you know, sometimes you don't get there, right? Sometimes you just Wong Modok, right? Bam, 2/2. Gets a big Apocalypse, maybe gets you a handful of Swarms. Meek maybe down already, and it just gets like 6-8 power, whatever, right? And then on turn 6, you can Apocalypse and a load of Swarms. You know, there's plenty of options. Like the Gambit is the fun part, but you know, Wong can just benefit a lot by just discarding a lot of your cards and making Meek and Mobius get big or make a big Apocalypse. Anyways, that's it for the decks. A fair bit of his power down. Both our Wongs went left as well. You see, here's the problem we've got. He puts his Apocalypse mid, which is bigger than mine. And then he goes 1-2, which is 5, which is 13, which is 12, which means we lose no matter what we do here. We lose no matter what we do. This would actually... Was this win? This wins, I think, because 2-2-1-2. Oof, that was cheeky. I almost missed that. I almost missed it. Okay, this part we're just going to look over like Untapped GG's meta list. So I clicked on meta. Obviously I don't have the paid one because I'm not paying for it. But we're going to be looking at how they've rated the archetypes, and then comparing them to discard to see if we got a chance. So destroy is the first one. Depending on the list, I'm going to kind of just do it on average, like between the 5 lists. I'm not going to do each list because it'll take too long and it's a lot of yapping in a need. So I'm going to just kind of do it in general, see how well it goes up. So destroy, I would say we're probably unfavored against destroy, unfortunately. Like if both of us get to do our own thing, the Hela list beats it. The hand discard one can do some work, but like standard discard list kind of just struggles if we both do our own thing, right? Because we're not going to be able to beat Death, Null, and the big Deadpool, right? We just can't. So I put destroy just ahead. It's pretty close. Like depending on the list, like you'll be better. Like the Hela version, obviously better than destroy, but the standard one's a little worse, you know. So depending on the list, so I'd put destroy just like a little favored into the matchup. She-Not, what's this? Just a standard. I don't even know. Looks pretty much like a high evo list according to the pictures, but whatever. I would give them the favor there because he's kind of getting out She-Not and stuff. Again, Hela list beats these, but the other ones struggle. Shuri list. We probably lose to that as well, unfortunately. The Hela list beats it again. That's why I put the Hela list as the best one. Hand stuff can beat it. You can get rid of Taskmaster. Standard discard probably loses to it. You know, you get the point. Hela list, obviously, Hela versus Hela. You know, whoever draws better. High Evo. This is an interesting one because we can struggle. This is where, like, the buff to Dracula the other week is actually a nerf because you wouldn't mind putting Dracula in the Cyclops lane, but now you do mind, so it's a little awkward. So give High Evo the stuff. These are all the top tier decks, right? So we're going to struggle. Hela Tribunal, obviously, you know, it's just Hela. We already got that on the list. So C2 and C3, I think we beat them because C3 gets to like 20 to 20 to what, like 28 in lane, which we can also get to 20 and a little bit higher. So I feel like we're just a little bit favored. They've got more locations that screw them as well. So I'd say we're a little bit favored into them. Darkhawk, I probably give Darkhawk a favor just ahead because they can interrupt with your draws, which can be a bit annoying. And they all normally have tech cards, right, which can cause a bit of issues. Thanos, everyone struggled with Thanos. Thank God that. Yeah, so that's it really. We're just kind of looking at the decks, like discard, Thanos, Lockjaw, Tribunal, you know, Black Knight. We're kind of getting into the simpler decks we've talked about. So that's why, like, the further down the list we got, the more chance we had of beating them. So that's why I put like discard in like a, well, this had B tier, right? Like this is where they have it as well, like middle of B tier on general, but like further up, like the Hela Tribunal, we got that in there. Look, Black Knight stuff's down here as well. Like this is where it is. It's like B tier right now. So let's get on to. Okay, so we're going to talk about Meek quickly. Card came out this week, and then we'll look at the 2 discard cards that are coming out next month. So Meek is pretty weak right now, but with cards coming next month, and discard already struggling with 1-drops, I'd say he's not bad, and he's 3k token. I would not use a key on him right now, but if he gets a buff to like a 1/2, probably a little bit better. But for now, he's okay. He can slot in, but he's not gonna make your deck better. Probably doesn't make it much worse either. So it's probably just a decent spot. Like sometimes he can be great, sometimes he'll just be dead, right? The good thing about him is if you're playing like a proper discard card with Modok. It doesn't matter if you draw this on turn 5 or 6, right? Because you could, like, on 6 go Meek Modok, and he's still getting a lot of power, right? So you've got that benefit that it's better late game than like a Nebula or something, right? Or late game, but you know, like late in the turns. Okay, let's look at the next month's card. So we got Corvius, Glaive. He's an on reveal. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Game +1 max energy, right? This is going to be a great discard card. I actually can't wait for this. This is incredible. Because you kind of want to discard stuff, right? So this could be huge. Imagine this with like Grandmaster, right? Yeah, the Grandmaster comes out next week, I believe it is. Which is going to be a fantastic card. You know, you do this, you say you draw a Grandmaster or something if you want to go like full discard. But anyways, it's just so good, right? Discard would love an extra energy. You could even like Wong this, right? Let's say you will Wong it, bam, discard. Do it twice, and then get an extra 2 energy for the last turn or something. Or like if you got Magic down for the last 2 turns, whatever. You know, just the extra energy and discard. It's great. Like I feel like it might be a little too good, but discard needs it. These are the cards that are going to push discard up. This card, I don't know if it says what it is. Series 4 or 5. I've got to wait for an announcement and make sure it is actually these stats. But like this, if you're a discard fan, this is an easy key use if you're a discard fan. And then the next one, when this is discarded, jump to your lowest power location that isn't full. So this, again, it's a great card because you probably don't play this, right? This just doesn't get played, right? Imagine you Corvius on 3 and it hits this. Bam, right? Not only are you getting 1 power and discarding cards, you hit this, you get a 4/6 for free. That's fantastic. That is so good. So, like, this card's getting some incredible love next month. This card is going to be in such a strong place next month. I can't wait for it. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you tomorrow for another deck video. Peace.